Lamb ribs are really made for sticky, delicious masala. And so what I would like to do with these beautiful Margaret River raised lamb ribs is make a really easy, quick marinade where the hero is sumac. So sumac is in the acidic spice category, so you'll find it over here. It is not a typical regional Indian spice. You'll find it in, Middle Eastern cuisine generally. But I do use it because it has this really unique shadowed acidity. So within that grouping of spice, I kind of classify it as an emo. Like it's a bit broody, a bit dark. Emotively, it has a lower tone than amchur, which is dry Greek mango, or tamarind, which is like really quite high and vibrant. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sumac the star. I'm going to put together the little visual band of spice here with pink salt, fennel seed, fennel powder, a little bit of chili, but let's say Kashmiri chili because I like the colour. And honey and soy. We're actually going to use ketchup manis and honey. So what we're looking at here is, it's not a regional dish. It's all about the flavour. So local honey is going to go in here. Ketchup manis, sticky. Let's have a little look at this, shall we? Any dark aromatics, so sumac, ketchup manis, if I had nigella seed in here as well, which we might do just for fun. No, that's too heavy, we'll take that out. But any darker spice is going to have an undertone. And that undertone and that shadow is accentuated in contrast. So we've got the contrast of the red, we've got the contrast of the pink salt, and then we've got a little bit of earthiness in the fennel and in the fennel powder, so the fennel seed and the fennel powder, to ground it down. So you've got earth, you've got height, you've got shadow, and then you've got drive. And this kind of colour schematic, it's not as aggressive as street food. It's not as warm and as grounded as what you might find in traditional Kashmiri Hindu cooking a lot of the time. But this is very much kind of a blend of regional Indian cooking and regional Chinese cooking. And we're going to use a thin oil as well. So peanut oil in there also. All right. So you can see that really what we're trying to do with spice is create little clusters of groupings that will play into each other and contrast with each other. In some ways, it does align with like orchestral ideas where you have sort of bands of instruments that come together to harmonise to create like a whole piece or a whole orchestral score. The meat itself too, white and pink, plays into this element here. So you can start to see some visual connection. All right, so this is actually just going to be a one-stop shop kind of a dish where I'm actually even going to do it in the tray that we cooked in. One of the nice things about knowing how to blend flavour and to use masala well is that you can use traditional ideas. So lamb ribs, it's a really Kashmiri Hindu thing, lamb. And then you can take little shortcuts to make easy food that requires far less cleaning up. So we're not doing any deep frying, we're not doing any twice cooking. We're doing it visually, so salt, That was about 1.5 teaspoons. Teaspoon of sumac because it is our star spice. 1/2 teaspoon of Kashmiri chili. Teaspoon of fennel powder, not too much. If you put too much, it will dominate the sumac. It creates too much warmth, too much density, too much grounding, and all of that sort of salty, shadowy, acidy drive of sumac becomes diminished. Teaspoon of fennel seed. That's actually going to lift the tonality of sumac because fennel seed has a really natural sweet licorice tone. It also has this capacity to create like a moat of liquid and saliva. It draws moisture around this part of the mouth. And acid runs through moisture and accelerates. So we're also accelerating it there. Honey, 1/2 tablespoon to make them sticky. Ketchup mayonnaise. Again, 1/2 tablespoon, and this just adds some sodium, so it does have quite a lot of sodium, some sweetness, and a little bit of an acrid note. And acrid will also accentuate acid. It's one of the equations. Teaspoon of peanut oil, just so it makes it all glossy and shiny. And also so that the fat will caramelize a little bit on the lamb rib. I'm going to do this, and then we're just going to pop it into a hot oven. There's lots of joy in simple food. Ash loves these. They're like little lamb rib lollipops. Spicy, salty, and just beautifully acidic. It smells amazing already. These are going in the oven, just as is. So I'm going to put them in a hot oven, about 200 degrees fan force, and then once they start to cook, I'm actually going to turn the grill of the oven on so that they also are blowtorched in some way. You know, the fat will actually really render and crisp just right at the end. They'll probably need about 30 minutes. Okay, I can smell those lamb ribs. It smells absolutely insane. Oh, oh my God. Check it out. They smell as good as they look. So remember, this is about sumac. It's about the emo acid. Let's see if they actually deliver. I mean, I know they'll be delicious, but can I taste the sumac? I think they need a bit more salt. Let me try again. I actually have to wait a sec because they're so hot. I don't know how. See what I mean? Like lamb lollipops. They're just like so epic. Yep. So what the sumac does is, like, there's heat there, and then the sumac has a recessed salt and kind of a soil quality. Sorry, it's all sticking to my teeth. And so these are sticky and rich, but instead of being sort of Southeast Asian street food, sort of that high acid, they're dark, they're a bit moody. It is actually the emo acid creates the emo taste, you know, like it's kind of dark, it's moody, it's set in, The fennel seed bites in and kind of pops and accelerates like this salty licorice element in there as well. So the honey's it's not overt, which I like. It's not sweet, neither is the ketchup manis, and that's that use of the fennel powder as well, kind of holds everything in a little bit. Those powders tend to work as the way soil tamps flame, you know, they tend to keep a lid on some of the more aggressive aspects of acid and heat. That was a long explanation. I think you should just put it in your mouth. I could literally stand here and eat this whole tray. It's so delicious. You can put these on top of salad, serve them with the Buoy's toasted cumin powder raitha. You could strip them off the bone and wrap them in Turkish bread with tabbouleh, like that would be insane. One of the interesting points about lamb ribs is I used to think, I don't know why, but I used to think that ribs always had to be slow cooked, that there was something intrinsic about that cut of meat that meant it required some extended cooking time, and it totally doesn't. These would, I think, 25 minutes in the oven, and that's enough. So if you want to experience or play with the expression of masala and not go the full Monty with a dish like kebab or any of those meats that take really extended periods of time, then this is a great, it's a great halfway point. If you have any of my Spirit of Spice masala blends, you could use the blends instead of the masala, keep the ketchup manis, the peanut oil and the honey, and use a tablespoon of any one of those blends. The chili would be amazing, and you'd have it done for you, you know. But yeah, sticky sumac lamb ribs. They're worth the 25 minutes it takes to cook them. Yum. I won't eat them all, by the way. I probably shouldn't.